The Sweet Baby Inc. controversy has gone nuclear over the past couple weeks, with so many different developers or games journalists getting called out and destroyed, whether it's for things they've said in the past or what they're doing now to try to cover up for Sweet Baby Inc., including former employees. But one of the more insidious ones that we saw was when former Sweet Baby Inc. employee, who's now gone on to work for Cliffhanger in EA on a Black Panther game, well, an old interview of her talking about one of her previous projects resurfaced. And as it turns out, just like so many people who are employed or surrounding Sweet Baby Inc., it's pretty fucking disgusting. These people clearly despise white people. They don't even want to be around them. And she admitted that she refused to hire white people on her project. Well, apparently, maybe she's been getting a little heat for that. Maybe she's been forced to make a statement about this because of all the backlash. But now, Daniela Landers, the person who was very proud to have no white people working with her on her old game, has come out and said, you know what? This is all just a big misunderstanding. Marvel's Black Panther developer Daniela Landers attempts to explain her race-based hiring discrimination against white people. Just as a reminder, let's listen to this entire thing because she says that this video is just full of misinformation and inaccuracies, even though it's her own statements. But let's watch this. This is posted on March 12th.
I have a team of 21 right now for Validate. It's a pretty big team. It's a crazy big team for indie games. But who is your team? Validate has a team of mostly all people of color. We have no white people on our team. I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment. And I know the best way for an environment to be safe is to be around people who are just like me.
So just again, we have mostly people, well, no, all people of color. We have no white people on the team because I wanted to create a safe environment. And the best way to do that is by surrounding myself with people who look just like me.
And I'm not saying that white people in the industry are creating unsafe environments. I'm not saying that. That is not what I'm saying. I am saying that sometimes it is hard to work with white people because they think that something made it okay, but it was really a microaggression. And no one wants to deal with that while they're trying to make a game that they love.
Nobody wants to deal with white people and their microaggressions. That's why we didn't hire them for this project. Well, here we are a couple weeks after this thing really took off and went viral. Even Elon Musk commented on this. Now she's trying to explain herself. Former Sweet Baby Inc. employee and current developer for Marvel's Black Panther, Daniela Landers, claims she did not discriminate against white people while developing her game Validate, despite previously claiming she did. And this goes into the quotes from the video that was just in question where she described her hiring practices for Validate. And it's not just that, by the way. Look over her Twitter history. When the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff started exploding, look at how this person reacted. I stopped taking y'all seriously when y'all running around saying white people can experience racism because I did not suffer through 2020 for y'all to act like you weren't an ally to BLM 4 years later, posting that tired-ass screenshot of the Google definition of racism. I don't care anymore. Haha, and then someone replies, so being appropriately called racist is tiresome. You should try not being racist. Yeah, I'm racist, so what now? If you think you can be racist to white people, you literally are a racist. I didn't imply anything. Racism and prejudice is not the same thing. Racism is systemic. White people are not systematically affected negatively by racism. Certain groups of white people throughout history have been affected by prejudice based on where they're from. All right, well, now we see that this person, we clearly understand who they are. We clearly understand they've got a lot of backlash. And maybe they're facing some pressure from the people they work for now. Because nobody should want to be associated with somebody like this who makes claims like this about illegal hiring practices because you don't want to be around white people. Well, now this person's coming clean and saying, let's talk about this. This is all just a big misunderstanding. Okay, let's address this. In this video, I very clearly stated the team for Validate is mostly people of color because I wanted to have a team of people who reflected the game they're working on. If you played Validate, you'd understand why that was important. And if you didn't know what the game Validate was, here's just a little bit of the art. Yeah, it kind of makes sense, the people you'd want to hire for a fucking piece of shit game like this, doesn't it? Validate struggling singles in your area. Struggling with what? Trying to figure out what fucking gender they are? Anyway, let's move on. This video is a bit outdated, recorded summer of 2021. Validate was released in September of 2022. From when this video was recorded, we had a few white developers join our team to help us with some music and audio. Nowhere in this video did I say we don't hire white people or that I hate white people. Now, I agree she didn't specifically come out and say she hates white people in that, although it's pretty clear if you connect the dots, read between the lines, and look at her other tweets. However, you absolutely did say that you're not hiring white people for this, that you specifically hired a team of all people of color because that's what you wanted to surround yourself with. That's what you said. And now you're going and claiming, right before the end, we hired a couple token whites. It's basically what she's admitted. I very clearly said we wanted to have a team that reflected the values of the game we're making. As a lead, you picked the best people possible. And the best people were people who understood the kind of game we're making. Developers working on a game full of queer characters who understood the importance of queerness in games that's realistic and respectful towards queer people. I guess there's no queer white people out there. You know what? Actually, I've seen a lot of games journalists and game developers. There are a lot of queer white people out there, just so you know. And it's just more victimhood shit about if you're a victim of microaggressions, you understand why I'd be so sensitive for this. And the rest of this is actually playing victim. There's a lot of misinformation out there. No, you said what you said. You've tweeted what you've tweeted. It's very clear for people to understand exactly what's going on. And even a former employee who worked on that game is calling her ass out. Former Sweet Baby Inc. devs, it was all misinformation. Claims she doesn't hate white people. Immediately get called out by ex-friend and co-dev on her Validate game. And it's right here. Negron the Malevolent. Danny used to be a very good friend to me, but you stopped taking accountability and being careful with how you navigate public online spaces. That's to say you're not careful with your wording and how you go about spreading a certain message. I don't believe it's true when you say you want your team to be safe. You failed to do so with us, your first group. You put fuck white people on the graphic of the character I designed, and it put to all of us in jeopardy. I was being stalked and would have episodes because I was still as paranoid as it is. You can't just say things. And I'm surprised you haven't figured out yet, consider you've been in many discussions where your wording and behavior was questionable. This is a black creator that's calling this other person out, by the way, a former friend, that's saying they don't believe that Danny Lalanders didn't mean what she said about white people. Somebody who worked with her on Validate. This thing is a fucking total shit show. And my guess is this person was told by their current employer, you're a fucking nightmare. You better go out there and clear this up and apologize. We're going to fire you. That's my guess of what's going on right now, why she took this moment weeks after the fact to actually try to clarify. Either way, I don't think too many people are buying it. What do you think? Let me know all about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.